All right, welcome everyone to the best business card on the planet. It's the ultimate strategy for dominating a market and getting more people to discover you, hire you, and refer you. Hopefully you'll enjoy this presentation. Really what we're talking about is helping you stand out from the crowd. And this is something that's for any professional. If you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you're somebody that has a mission, that has a story that needs to get out, you really need the tool to stand up from the crowd. And I found the book to be the ultimate tool for doing so. If you don't know me, my name is Bob Rigneris. I'm the author of the best business card on the planet, Big Ticket E-Commerce. I've spoken all over the country. I've hosted a radio show on WIND in Chicago, and I've worked with business owners since 1999, helping them tell their story, deploy their story, and monetize their story. That's what I'm all about. This is an individual who I had on the radio show recently, and he's very famous for getting a lot of brands out there that you would recognize. I'm not going to say him on this presentation, but he was very impressed with the process of me helping people write, publish, and market books. And he has recommended me to many, many of his famous clients. Really, the question for you is, and the reason you're watching this is, do you have a book to position you as an expert to land more clients, speaking opportunities, and media attention? I just want to tell you my story real quick. I wrote Big Ticket E-Commerce in 2007, 2008, and I used it to build a very successful marketing consulting agency and marketing digital agency. I've helped clients for many years, starting in about 2005, working with clients, helping them get more leads, get more sales, and I specialize in e-commerce, big ticket items and small ticket items. But one of the things I really have been known for, and my book really details the case studies of me working with clients that are selling high-priced products using the internet and the processes that I use to help them achieve those results. I documented that in a book, and what happened after I wrote that book was pretty amazing. It allowed me to speak in a lot of different stages across the country. It helped me get a radio show. It allowed me to get audiences with people that were very influential in referring me to other clients. So it created a giant referral network for me. It gave me a sense of accomplishment getting a book done because I really wanted to do that. But ultimately what it really did was it got me on the map, and it really cut through a lot of the marketing clutter and noise. It really allowed me just to be myself. I didn't have to convince people of my expertise. They really saw I was an expert. They could see that I was a book. They heard me speak. Generating clients has never been a problem for me since I wrote my book. And I detailed a lot of these things in the best business card on the planet. This book is available at Amazon.com in both paperback and Kindle format. And in the book, I detail a lot of the process that I use to get a book done, including a lot of strategies for how to use it as a client getting tool, a discovery tool, and a referral tool. And I'm going to get into some of those, some of the highlights in this presentation, which I think you'll find interesting. Before we kind of dig into some of the nuts and bolts, I just want to reveal some truths to you, and it's very important that you understand these. If you're a passionate leader, if your desire is to broadcast your mission and your message to the world, then you really need to pay attention. If your goal is attention, if it's influence, if it's celebrity, authority, credibility, legacy, what have you, this is going to be really important. And the environment in which we are currently operating in is one in which we have to just come to grips with these truths. And the first truth is that people don't trust you. The default stance of people is that they are in a position of not trusting you. It's not because of anything you've done. It's really what others have done. People have sales defense systems in place, and they've all been burned by bad salespeople. They've made transactions that they've regretted. They've spent money and wasted money. They're very defensive. They don't trust people, and that's just the climate in which we are operating today. I don't particularly like it, just like you don't like it, but the fact is that is where we operate, and we need to be aware of that and understand that people at a default level are not trusting of you. The second thing, and this is something that I've had to learn over my career, is that people don't buy stuff, they buy you. Uh, Most of us sell based on features and benefits, and we start by selling features, and we think that that's why people buy. We try to logically get them to buy from us because we have the most features. Then we kind of learn a little bit about sales and marketing, and we go, oh, well, we need to really list the benefits, and we try to convince people of the benefit of our product and our service. And then we reach a point in our career where we really understand that it's really not about the features, it's not about the benefits, because let's face it, most of us don't have a unique enough product or service that we could find enough features and benefits that will make us stand out and be the ultimate decision for somebody. Really what it comes down to is you. Most of the people who are watching this are professionals of some sort. They serve people, they have a product which serves people. And really what I've learned is that it's not about what you sell, it's about yourself. People want to do business with people that they trust, they know you, they like you, and really what it's about is being your most authentic self. It's about being able to understand and project your identity, to tell your story, to articulate it in such a way that people know about you so that when they invest in your product or service, they're not just investing in that, they're investing in you. They make their buying decision based on who you are. And let's just face it, people prefer to buy from experts. If all things are equal, including price, people will always choose to buy from an expert because they don't have time to waste. They want to get their problem solved. They need to get something done. They want to buy from an expert if at all possible. And let's face this truth, people are overwhelmed. There's a paradox that exists, and we have amazing tools and resources today to broadcast a message to billions of people with ease. But the amount of noise and people claiming to be heard really makes it makes it almost impossible for people to hear us. With social media and smartphones giving every single person on the planet a way to broadcast their message. I mean, it's so efficient and powerful. Anybody today could use these platforms to broadcast their opinions, offer knowledge, gather a following. But really, what this results is in a lot of noise and a lot of overwhelm. So, really, what happens is that very few people are responding to your marketing messages. And how can you fix that? How do you cut through the clutter? How do you get past this overwhelm and some of these things that are getting in the way of people recognizing you as an expert, people trusting you, and people understanding who you are and not being overwhelmed by your marketing? Well, I believe it's a book, and I believe it's the ultimate solution to overcoming this problem. So let's talk about some advantages. What advantages do authors have over common human beings? And I got several here. I think you'll find they're interesting. First of all, we talked about being an expert. When you're an expert and you can present yourself and your mission, your message in a book, you're no longer a salesman. You're actually a prescriber. The ultimate position for a professional is to be a prescriber. It's like going to the doctor, and he or she looks in you get an examination, and they determine, well, the best course of treatment is this, and they take out the prescription pad, and they write you a prescription, whether that's a test, a procedure, or a drug. They prescribe it, and we don't question it. And that's an ultimate position for them to be in as a medical professional. And so you need the same sort of authority position where you are the prescriber versus a salesman trying to convince somebody that you have the solution. So it's an advantage that an author has, is that you could be an expert and a prescriber versus a salesman. The second advantage, and this is one that I've really enjoyed over the years, is that all of your clients and your prospects are better educated about your biz. When I had clients come in for their initial strategy sessions with me, one of the things that just really floored me was that they came in with my book, and the books were dog-eared and highlighted. Uh, all my philosophy, my gospel, so to speak, is all contained in the books that I write. And when somebody wants to do business with me, they don't have to spend a lot of time in our meetings kind of figuring out who I am and what I'm going to do for them. They see in my book, they see the case studies, they see the philosophies and the strategies that I use, and they understand before they do business with me about how I operate and the kind of results they can expect. So having an educated prospect and an educated client is a fantastic position to be in. It allows you to get to work right away with clients, and it allows you to only talk to prospects that have been convinced that you are who you say you are. You don't have to do a lot of selling. You don't have to beat people over the head. You can literally start from a better and more advantageous position as a professional in negotiating a service contract. This is a very this is another cool advantage that an author has over a common human being. Excuse me. Being interviewed, media attention, and I think just by you recognizing what's going on around you, when you listen to the radio, when you listen to a podcast, when you watch television, when you read news media, newspapers, magazines, you understand that most of the people that are providing expert commentary are authors. So this is a tremendous way for you to gain an authority and credible position in your market, whether that's a market defined as a niche or a market defined as a locality. Having a book is a way for you to get in the front of the line in terms of getting interviews on different media and so forth, and being quoted as an expert. And also, too, this is something that I really enjoyed. I was able to turn my book into a lot of speaking opportunities. People who hold the keys to the lectern or the platform of a stage don't want to be taken advantage of. And one of the things they know is that when they have a published author, that they don't have to question that person's expertise or authority. It's a way for you to get the attention of people who have the keys to the stages. And it's a way for you to actually create that presentation. A lot of people would love to have speaking opportunities, and they don't know what to speak about. Well, what you can actually do is create kind of a skeleton of your book and present that. Very much like I'm doing right now on this training. This presentation is really based on the content of my book, The Best Business Card on the Planet. And it's a presentation that I've given live in person in front of live people on stage. And it's one that I've given over webinars and interviews dozens of times. So having a book and then having that platform, that gospel, allows you to get on stage, get on a webinar, get on a teleseminar, and gives you content to present to the audience. I think you won't argue this either, is that when you get a marketing piece, whether that's a direct mail piece, an email, a video, whatever it may be, that most marketing has a very, very short lifespan. Meaning, if you look at an email and you decide that it's not for you, you delete it, it's gone forever. If you get sent a piece in the mail, a coupon, a flyer, whatever it is, it doesn't interest you, you throw it away. When was the last time you threw away a book? I think this is something that you can really comprehend well, is that if you look at your book, if you look around your working space, right now I'm staring at a pile of about 8 books that I'm currently working my way through. And some of them are biographies, but a majority of them are books from experts that I want to glean information from. Some of them I may choose to work with. So understand that when you use your book as a marketing mechanism and you give that book to somebody, they are not going to throw it away. That book will remain in their workspace. It'll get put on the kitchen table. Maybe it even gets put in the bathroom for the bathroom reader. I don't know. But I know this, is that books very, very rarely are thrown out. They're valued, even if they, even though that they cost less than $20 or $24.95, $12.95, or something that they were given as a gift, there's a value to it, and books are not thrown away. And that's one of the things that I love. And it's an advantage that you have as an author. Now, here's the big question. How do I grow my business? So I write a book, big deal. What's next? How do I grow my business from it? Well, I'm going to share 5 ways. I actually share over 20 ways in my book, but I want to actually share with you a strategy that I've come to love, and it's one that I teach my clients and actually use with a lot of my clients. And that's using your book in a way that instead of relying on sales on Amazon, you actually decide to grow your business by giving away. Because what it's not about is it's not about selling books. A 30% commission on a book that sells for $12.95 or $14.95, you're not going to get rich off of that, and you're not going to pay the mortgage with that. What you want to be thinking about is, how do I generate several $100 sales, $1,000 sales, multiple $1,000 sales, using your book in such a way that you could give your book away to land the bigger clients, the bigger contracts. So let's talk about the first way, and this is one way that I love, and I've used this quite a bit in my own business, and I've used it in many, many client engagements over the years, and that's what we call the ultimate website lead magnet. One individual that I see using that quite a bit is Brendan Burchard, and this is a book that he wrote recently called The Charge, and you could see here that he uses that as a front-end tool. You can see here, look, his book is The Charge. Tells what it is. There's a video letting people know, and it's a free book, okay? And it's not a download. It's not an ebook. It's a physical book. You can see that it says here, enter your first name. Okay, step 2 is enter your shipping, and then there's some free videos on the back end. But understand that this is about him generating a high-quality lead. And I can tell you, books as a marketing asset deployed to somebody that you haven't met before, or somebody that you're trying to engage into a higher ticket item, this is a fantastic way to do so. People who receive books and absorb the material are far superior to any leads where you just have an email address and you've asked them to watch a video or download an ebook. I've found this to be the most effective way to secure high-ticket, high-fee clients in my business and those of my clients. The second strategy for giving away your book to grow your business is to give it to influencers. This is how I have secured speaking engagements around the country and gotten the attention of people to speak on teleseminars and webinars. I will actually get their contact information, whether I initially get their email address or whatever. What I'll typically do is not pitch to them right away. What I'll actually do is say, hey, I'd like to send you a copy of my book. And I'll get their mailing address and I'll mail that book out. I'll sign the book and I will mail it out, and usually put a cover letter in there, just kind of introducing myself and how I could serve this particular person. The people who are hosting summits, workshops, conferences, the organizer, sending them a book, just letting them know that you have these particular topics that you can speak on, and here's a copy of my book to further let you know that I know what I'm talking about. It's a great way to secure speaking engagements. I've used this to get access to coaching groups, to actually get in front of somebody's audience in terms of joint ventures. I've used it that way. I've used this to get the attention of media folks, to get interviews, and to get on the radio, and to get interviewed for a magazine. One example, a couple years ago, I sent my book to the American Marketing Association, and I got a 2-page article opportunity to write in that publication, and I then used that magazine excerpt in my marketing to secure other clients. So, the cost of printing a book wholesale is around $4, and it costs another couple dollars to mail it. So, really, for less than $10, to have an opportunity to get in front of a large audience, to get the attention of a high-profile client, to me is a fantastic trade-off, and I'll do that all day long. Strategy 3, it's your business card. I wrote the best business card on the planet, and I use that title on purpose because one of the things that I've done at a lot of conferences and networking events that I've gone to is I noticed that everyone hands out business cards, and then there's some people who just have the standard business card. Most of you people have the standard business card. Then there's some people that get creative and get an oversized business card or high color or funky design, different shapes and so forth. But what I like to do is I actually like to pass out copies of my book. Now, it's not advantageous to, have 100 books in a box and so forth. Typically what I'll do is I will use this and I'll have one business card that I'll hand out to most people, but people who identify as influencers or potential clients, I'll actually have the book stashed at the hotel or in my car, and I'll run out and I'll get those books and make sure those people get those. So I love this as a business card versus all the other ordinary crappy business cards that people typically collect and then throw out as soon as they get home. So I love a book as a business card. Another strategy which I introduced to a client and has been working gangbusters for her is equipping your referral partners. This is Anna Lee Leonard. She's a financial planner. And one of the things that we did with her book is that we actually included in the resource section a number of people who are in a referral network for her. As a financial planner, she doesn't do everything, but she certainly has the trust of her clients. So one of the things we've done is we've put in estate planning attorneys, elder care attorneys, insurance companies, accountants, a number of different other experts in her resource section, and we promote them as these are Annalee's trusted partners. And what we did then is we actually used the book and asked the partners who were featured in the book to hand out to their clients. So, an accountant, an elder care attorney usually has a lot of different financial planners that refer people to them. But, and then they have a lot of people that they can refer their clients out to as well in terms of financial planners. So what we did was we actually included these people in her resource section. And then what we did is we bought books and gave a stack of books to each of these people and just asked them if they have somebody who's in need of financial planning and is a ideal client for Annalee, is for them to not just give them a business card, but to give them the book. And this has been an incredible strategy for Annalee to get really solid, rock solid referrals where the people come into her office, they're ready to work. They're convinced that she's the one that they want to work with. It eliminates a lot of senseless meetings for her, and it allows them to get to work and to get started right away. So a great strategy is to equip these books through your referral networks. And the strategy 5 I like to call client evangelist. Brian Sullivan's another financial planner we did a book for, and one strategy I introduced to him was the thank you strategy. And it was very simple. What he did actually over one Thanksgiving was to his entire base of clients, what he did is he created a package where he sent them not one, but 2 books. And he included a very nice and heartfelt thank you note, thank you card. And so I just want to thank you for being a client and for trusting me with your assets and helping me to secure your future. I'd like to give you a copy of my book that I've recently completed to thank you. And I've also included a second book that I would love for you to give to somebody you care about who you believe would need the same kind of services that you're currently enjoying. And so thank you for taking the time to find somebody that you care about to pass this to. So kind of roughly, there were 60 different clients that Brian sent this book to, and I think it was within a week or 10 days, he was able to secure a $60,000 new client from that, and has consistently closed clients from that particular thank you strategy. So those are just 5 strategies you can use to grow your business by giving away the book. Like I said, I've got more than 20 contained in the best business card on the planet. So understand that having a book is a great way to grow a business, and it's not, again, about selling a lot of books. It's about getting your books in the hands of people that could get you the clients that you really want. So the question you might be asking, well, how do I get it done? So one of the things that you really got to understand before you decide to write a book is really sit down and plan this out. It's not about sitting in front of the computer and starting to type. You really need to get a handle on what's your story. What do you want to convey? What is your unique position? What is your message? What is your mission? Figure that out first, and that becomes kind of your overall theme for the book. And really understand who's my customer. Who do I want to read this book? Who do I want to reach? Who do I want to influence? Because the way you write the book and the way you structure it is going to be very dependent on who you want to read it, who you want most to be influenced by it. And so you want to take a lot of time to really identify who that customer is, that ideal person, and understand what their needs are and what they need to hear and what they want to hear. And again, what is my message? What is it that I want to teach? What is it that I want to convey to the audience? What do I want to do as an author to impact them the most? And then you really have to consider, especially if this is a business book, what will they do next? What do I want them to do? Do I want them to put the book down and say, that was a good book, and move on? Or do I want them to take action? Most people will invite them to connect on their website. They'll provide additional resources, additional training, ways to say, hey, I can go further with you if you join my coaching program, or we have, the CD set and so forth. So really have an understanding of what you want the person reading to do next, so that it becomes a flow and can really become part of your marketing and sales funnel. Some of the specifics about getting a book done in regards to what I call the process of self-publishing is contained. I have a free PDF. Here's kind of the first page of it. It's called the Self-Publishing Blueprint. If you look on this particular page where you're watching the presentation, you'll see a link to this. Make sure you download it. It's a PDF. You can print it out. It really goes step by step as to what to do in regards to how to self-publish, from the planning stages to the writing stages to the editing stage and to the publishing stage. It goes through and gives you all those details if that's something you want to undertake. So make sure you download that so you can get all those details. I have similar details and actually more depth in the book, which you can get on Amazon, the best business card on the planet. Just search for my name or search for the title. You'll see it there, and you can get a copy either on paperback or by a Kindle. But one of the questions people often ask is, well, what if I don't write? Actually, not a problem. One of the ways that you can get a book done is get an interview transcribed. So if you're not a writer but you're a speaker, you can actually use a process where you get interviewed. The interview is recorded, the interview then is transcribed, and then you could write the book from the transcription. Some of you have done a lot of blogging and written a lot of articles. That's another way to compile a book, is to take the pre-published materials that you have and compile those into a manuscript. Another way is to take a presentation that you've done, whether on stage or a webinar or teleseminar. You can actually turn a presentation into a book. Again, ideally it's a digitized presentation that gets transcribed and then it's turned into a manuscript. This is a client who we recently finished doing his book. His name is Jim Alampi. He's an award-winning Vistage speaker. Vistage is an organization of CEOs around the world. And Jim is actually a speaker who goes around the country speaking to these various CEO groups. And like I said, he's an award-winning speaker both in the U.S. and Canada. And what he needed to do was take what he spoke about in those meetings and turn it into a book so you can influence more people. Jim is a speaker. Jim is very busy. He runs his own company. Didn't have time to get a book done on his own and sit down and write it. So what we actually did was we simplified the process for him. We took the presentation that he gave. It's a 2-hour presentation. We took his presentation. We took his biography, and we took client case studies that were already developed, and we used our process with our team to turn them into a manuscript. You can see his clients, they're raving about it, and he's ordering boxes of books every month or so, giving books away. He's being interviewed on Fox Business News and a number of other high-profile outlets because of the quality of the material that he contained in his book and the professionalism of the book that we produced for him. So we're real proud of Jim, who is using his book to leverage his career even further. Excuse me. As I mentioned, one of the ways to get a book done without writing it yourself is a ghostwriter. So, when we take somebody and we do an interview, whether we take their articles or where we take their presentation, one of the team members on our team is a ghostwriter. We have teams of ghostwriters actually managed by our editing staff. And a ghostwriter is somebody you can find ghostwriters on Elance. You can find ghostwriters on Craigslist. You can find them locally to actually take your material and turn it into a book. Ghostwriters it's very simple. They're people who enjoy writing. They're gifted at writing, and they write your book for you, and they take no authorship credit. So my first book, Big Ticket E-Commerce, I authored that book. I did 12, 14, 16 hours of interviews to get that book done. So all the material in that book is mine. All the case studies in those books are mine. But the actual manuscript was written by a ghostwriter. And the reason you use a ghostwriter is because that's what they do well. Most of us don't know how to write a manuscript to get into a book format. And so you want to use a ghostwriter to get that done. It's a process that's used by a majority of writers, both fiction and nonfiction, and it's kind of the secret of the publishing industry. So don't be afraid of ghostwriters. They're very gifted at writing in your voice. You can detect no difference between when I speak and what's in my book because the ghostwriters are very careful to capture your voice. Now, here's an interesting, Mitzi's another author that I've recently worked with. With Mitzi and others, we've introduced a process called Done With You. So, as I mentioned, we've got a team of people that will help you get a book done from start to finish. And so that will mean that, like with Jim, we will, take your presentation, we will do the interviews with you, we'll do everything we need to do to capture the material that you need to present. We have a ghostwriting team that will actually write the book. We have an editor that will edit the manuscript and work with the ghostwriter. We've got proofreaders. We've got layout specialists. We have cover designers, everything to get the book done from start to finish. So you don't have to do a single thing other than read and approve the book. Now, Mitzi's, she's an up-and-coming star who is going to be a big influencer to the baby boomer market. And Mitzi is very passionate about empowering the boomer generation. And she came in with a lot of things on her mind, some things that she's already written and some ideas. So what we did with Mitzi and we do with other clients is called Done With You, meaning that Mitzi actually wrote her book. She wrote her book. She keyed in everything and created the manuscript herself. And what we did and what I did with her is I coached her through the process. I taught her how to I basically taught her how to organize her thoughts. We went through processes to create her outline, processes to add the material to each part of the outline to create the chapters. So I coached her through the entire process to actually get the manuscript written. And then once the manuscript was written, she was able then to hand that off to our team. And we then had our editors, our proofreaders, our layout design artists, and our cover artists produce everything else. So it's a way for you to get a book done and get it published without having all the hassle that you would do if you had to self-publish on your own. So what I call the messy and difficult part we can actually do, plus you get some coaching from me on a semi-weekly basis. We actually do it every other week. You have a level of accountability. So, 6 months ago, 6 months before she published her book, Mitzi said, I want to get a book done and I want you to help me get it done. And we were able to do that in 6 months. We met her goal. A lot of people have it as a goal to get a book done and it waits years and years and years. Wouldn't it be great to have somebody who knows how to get this done, knows how to help you get it done? And that's what Mitzi's been really proud of, is that she's been able to get it done, and she was so relieved to have the experts on her side to help her through the entire process. And now she's going to be launching this idea to the world, and she's going to make a big impact with her book. What I would encourage you to do is, again, download the Self-Publishing Blueprint. It contains a lot of details about what is entailed in each part of the process. What do you do in the writing process? What do you do in the planning process? What do you do in the proofreading process? How do you get the book up on Amazon and so forth? I put that all into the blueprint for you. If you don't desire to have somebody do it for you or do it with you and you want to get it done, I've given you all the materials to do that. My goal is to help people get their stories out. I think this is a powerful way to get your message and your mission to the world, and I want to equip as many people as possible to do it. So this presentation, the Self-Publishing Blueprint, and my book, The Best Business Card on the Planet, if you have those things, you can get a book done. Now, of course, if you want the help, if you want the coaching, or if you want the process done for you, we'd absolutely love to talk with you. And what you can do is actually request a book strategy session. You can see to the right of this video and below this video, there's a link for you to request a book strategy session. So very simply, what you're going to do is click on that. It's going to take you to a new page, and there's just going to be a short form that you're going to fill out. You're going to tell me a little bit about you, and you're going to tell me a little bit about your book idea. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get on the phone, and I'm going to talk through it with you and help you decide what's the best way to go forward, whether it's for you to do it all yourself, whether it's for you to maybe do it yourself and then we can help with the editing and publishing, if it's to have it done with you where you do the writing and I coach you through the process and then we do all the editing and the proofreading and the designing and the publishing, or the full service where we will do everything for you and our ghostwriters will be involved in the process, and we'll take interviews we do with you, we'll take your presentations, any articles, whatnot, and produce the manuscript from that. So whatever boat you're in, I would encourage you to request a book strategy session with me, and we could talk and really decide what's the best path for you. These are some of the books that we've done recently. You see Mitzi's book there. We did a book for the wedding industry. We did a book for a local marketing consultant, another financial planner, for a marketing consultant, a social media expert, a Ford Mustang restorer. We do books, nonfiction books in all different industries for all different kinds of folks. And so what I would encourage you to do is right now, if this is something you want to get done and it's something that's on your bucket list, something you realize that you need to really move your business forward and to get the recognition, the authority, the credibility, everything that you need and desire, I would encourage you to request a book strategy session. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can go to interviewtobook.com, and all the links to the blueprint and the strategy session will be there for you. So I would encourage you to do so. I want to help you get a book done. I want to see you be a published author. And I'm absolutely thrilled and honored to take some time with you to start you on that process and achieve the dream that you're looking to achieve. I thank you for your attention. I thank you for your interest, and I hope that you've been inspired by this, and I look forward to talking with you soon.